don't just play as a champion, but be one. That's the motto we had from the inception of Project Coliseum. Fast, unrestricted gameplay that brings out the warrior in you. So before we could reach the moon, first we had to learn how to design the rocket itself. We had to lay a framework for the tech demo and work on accomplishing short milestones. These ranged from testing out the room movement by creating a corridor in-game that replicated the real-world one to creating champion mechanics. For the demo, we decided on creating two champions. First one that dealt with swords and the second dealt with guns. In-house, we called them Seraph and Gun Guy. The player target for Seraph was one who relied on mobility and lots of physical movement, whereas the Gun Guy was the exact opposite. He relied on stationary movement and attacked tactically rather than face the enemy head first. The first few weeks were spent on creating these mechanics. Once they were done, the next step was networking, putting two players in one world. Another week was spent on networking, since this was a whole different titan to tackle. We had to have a little fun while we designed the framework, so we made a tennis game. Once network was up and running, next step was to convert the pre-made champions to replicate over the server. Halfway through the process, as waves of bugs started to occur.
What are you doing? Checking the collision box.
Yeah, see? It's under the ground. See, it is moving under the ground also. See.
Yeah, I can see.
We realized one thing. Replicating mechanics should have been done at first when we created them. It was a steep learning curve, but the lesson was learned. Replication should be done the first time the mechanics are written, not after. One of the pillars of Project Coliseum is move around in the virtual world as you would move in the physical, and for that we had to do some rigid measurements and mappings. One of the first tests we did was to recreate a simple corridor in VR. We measured it in the real world and made a cube that was that long in Unreal Engine and tried moving. It was weird, so to say. Next, we upped the complexity by recreating the room. We used Gravity Sketch to create small cubes around the room whilst wearing the headset. This gave us a size of scale and multiple point of references, using which we could recreate the room in Engine. We even gave it to test it out, and the results turned out good. Bringing everything together, we now had a tech demo that displayed Project Coliseum's core idea. Now, we needed something to show it to the world. The trailer was made for the sole concept of pushing the idea of the project, the end we wanted Project Coliseum to be. We got together and decided how the trailer should be, and then we did a day of real life shoots. And spent another day shooting the virtual ones. Once it all made sense, we edited it and showed it to the world. We want everybody to come together and experience Coliseum, make new friends along the way, and most importantly, have fun. The project is still in its development stage and there is a long road to get there, but we are working towards reaching the moon slowly and steadily. You can join us in our journey via various social media platforms linked in the description and join our Discord server where you can play an active part in its development. Thank you for tuning into Project Coliseum. Until next time.